This is On Point with Miss Britt, bringing you Week 6 NFL recap. So let's get into it. Thursday night, I would say, it was the worst NFL game this season. The Commanders versus the Bears. Luckily, this Thursday, we got the Saints versus Cardinals, so it should be a little bit better, but it was bad. So just to sum it up, there was a muff punt recovered by Christian Holmes, which set up a 1-yard touchdown by Brian Robinson, which got Washington the win. They beat the Bears 12-7. All right, now Sunday, let's get into it. NFC Beast, let's go. Continue the rolling wins. All right, I'm going to start off with the Giants versus Ravens. Everybody was expecting the Ravens to pull out a win, but they didn't. Okay, and this is their third game where they blew a lead. Just saying. All right, the Giants, they rallied from being down 10 heading into the fourth quarter. Julian Love's interception and 27-yard run set up Saquon Barkley's 1-yard touchdown drive to put the Giants up 24-20 with 1:43 left on the clock. Kayvon Thibodeau with the Giants, he sacked Lamar Jackson and forced a fumble that Leonard Williams recovered. And Daniel Jones, he threw 2 touchdowns to both the rookies. 5-yard touchdown to wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson, and then 8 yards to our tight end Daniel Bellinger. The Ravens, like I said, they blew a lead for the third time this season. And then also the Giants, just want to shout them out. We have surpassed our wins from last year. We only won 4 games last year. We done won 5, and we've won 4 straight in a row. And in 3 of those games, we have rallied back from a 10-point deficit. So I'm proud of us. We're getting better. Let's go. All right, so battle in the NFC East. We had the Eagles versus Cowboys. The Eagles are still undefeated. They beat the Cowboys 26-17. They improved to 6-0. Jalen Hurts threw for 155 yards and 2 touchdowns. C.J. Gardner-Johnson had 2 of the 3 interceptions thrown by Cooper Rush. Eagles offensive tackle Lane Johnson, he went out. He had to leave the game with a concussion. So that was a major blow to the Eagles, and they still won the game. In the fourth quarter, the Eagles converted 3 third downs, and Hurts hit Devontae Smith with a 7-yard touchdown. Trayvon Diggs, he got frustrated from that touchdown and slammed his helmet and got a penalty, which got the Eagles in good field position for a 2-point conversion, but they failed on the 2-point conversion attempt. Dallas kicker Brett Maher, he missed a 59-yard field goal to bring Dallas within striking distance to possibly kick an onside kick and try to at least win the game, but he missed that field goal, so that was a wrap. And Ezekiel Elliott and Jake Ferguson both scored touchdowns for Dallas. So the Eagles kept rolling, they hung in there, and they beat them Cowgirls. All right, next game, 49ers versus the Falcons. Marcus Mariota, he accounted for 3 touchdowns. He had 129 passing yards, 50 rushing yards on 6 carries. And the 49ers couldn't overcome 2 interceptions thrown by Jimmy Garoppolo and a fumble by Jeff Wilson that resulted in the Falcons' touchdown. And Kyle Pitts, he caught first touchdown of the season. So the Falcons ended up beating the 49ers 28-14. The Bengals versus Saints. All right, Andy Dalton and the Saints offense, they failed to score on the final 2 possessions, allowing the Bengals to take the lead. Bengals took first lead with Jamar Chase's 60-yard touchdown, but then they failed on the 2-point conversion with 1:57 left on the clock. The Saints were without Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and Chris Olave. Cincinnati had touchdowns on all 3 of its red zone possessions, and Joe Burrow was 28 for 37, 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Bengals beat the Saints 30-26. Another big game on Sunday was the Bills versus Chiefs. Bills quarterback Josh Allen, he threw for 329 yards, 3 touchdowns, including a 14-yard touchdown pass to Dawson Knox with 1:04 left on the clock. Chiefs got the ball back after the Knox touchdown, but Mahomes was picked off by Taron Johnson with 51 seconds left, so that was pretty much game. Stephon Diggs had 10 catches, 148 yards and a touchdown. Gabe Davis had a touchdown. Mahomes, he finished with 338 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And then Juju Smith-Schuster, he had 5 catches for 113 yards and a touchdown. And Bills safety, Jordan Poyer, he missed last week's game with a rib injury, and he got cleared to play, but he couldn't fly, and he really drove 15 hours just to play. He had 4 tackles. And Von Miller, he had 2 sacks. We had the Browns versus the Patriots, and by the way, the Bills ended up winning 24-20 if I didn't state that. All right, we had the Browns versus the Patriots, and it was an ugly game. Bill Belichick, he now ties George Halas with 324th win. Patriots rookie QB Bailey Zappi, he had 309 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Browns offense produced a pair of field goals by Cade York in the first half. Jacoby Brissett, he finished 21 for 45, 266 yards, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. And Nick Chubb had a season low of 12 carries and 56 yards. And the Patriots blew the Browns out 38-15. And I know those fans are, they need prayer right now. They are in a slump. All right, the Bucs versus Steelers. Mitch Trubisky, he came off the bench late in the third quarter after Pickett went into concussion protocol. He had 144 passing yards and a 6-yard touchdown pass to Chase Claypool to put them in the lead. Tom Brady then came back and had a touchdown pass to Leonard Fournette to put them within 2, but then they failed on the 2-point conversion. And that was game. Steelers won 20-18. And then during the game, you could see Tom Brady vividly upset with the O-line. He was screaming at them. Okay, the Jets beat the Packers 27-10. Breece Hall ran for 116 yards, including a 34-yard touchdown to Quinnen Williams. Or a 34-yard touchdown. Quinnen Williams, he had 2 of the 4 sacks on Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets are now 4-2. What is going on? All right, the Vikings versus Dolphins. Dalvin Cook, he rushed for a 53-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter to seal the win for the Vikings. Cook's touchdown was followed by a fumble by Jalen Waddle. That's what set up that touchdown, was that fumble. And then Miami's backup Teddy Bridgewater, he was in concussion protocol last week. He returned this week, coming off the bench in the second quarter after their third stringer, Skylar Thompson, injured his thumb. And the Vikings beat the Dolphins 24-16. The Vikings are now 5-1. And then Monday night, we had the Broncos versus Chargers. It went into overtime. Justin Herbert, he didn't throw a touchdown pass at all for the first time in 27 games. Dustin Hopkins, he kicked 4 field goals, including the 39-yard game-winning field goal in overtime. And Dean Leonard, he recovered a muff punt at Denver's 28-yard line, which set up that winning field goal. So the Chargers ended up winning in overtime 19-16. And that's all the updates I had this week. Let me know what your favorite moments were. And see you for week 7. We getting to the halfway point. And I'm out.